Hello and welcome back. So, this assignment is to compose something based on the 12-bar blues progression, which is 1 1 1 1 4 4 1 1 5 4 1 1, and this is a very basic formula. It's the reason it's so successful is because it is so basic. You could speak to any jazz musician and they know the basic formula. However, there are many different ways you can vary this with it still being a 12-bar blues. So as long as you have the basic outline of the 12-bar blues, you can change some of these chords around slightly. So we're going to go over a couple of those today. So let's start off with something quite common called the quick change. So this is one of the most common ones, and it is to vary the pattern from 1 1 1 1 to 1 4 1 1. So what does that mean? In the key of C, the fourth note is F, because we know that because we used the 4 chord here. So we're just going to switch to the 4 chord quickly on this second bar. So let's grab the F chord from down here just to save time. So that's the F chord here, and we're going to need to change this over in the bass as well. We'll rewrite this as F7. We need to write out this. We'll stick to the basic bass formula later. More interesting bass formula coming up soon. And this is just a quick change. So we need to check that these notes still work with our melody, and as this is the main note we're leading up to. This B flat just leads up to the C. C is a part of the C7 chord. The F is. This should work fine. Let's have a quick listen. Lovely, that works fine. So the reason jazz pianists and blues musicians tend to add in this quick change is it varies it, because holding this one chord for 4 bars can get a bit tedious, so it adds in some interest and movement already. So that's one easy addition to this piece. That's called a quick change. Another one that I think we'll add in will be the turnaround. So when you hit the end of the 12-bar blues, you go back to the beginning. So you just kind of loop it, and that means you have 1 1, and then you go back to the 1 1 1 1 at the beginning. So let's add in what this piece is sorely lacking, which is some perfect cadences. So let's add in a G7 here. So this will add in a 1 5 1 to return us to the beginning. And we'll nick the G chord from here, return this to G, and we'll turn the bass into a G chord. 1 3 5 6. That looks like it to me. So let's have a listen to the end of the piece. Ooh, so what happened there? That C really doesn't go well with that chord. So what can we do? We need to change this note. We didn't have that when we changed the notes earlier because they all worked quite well. C and the F there work really well with that F7 chord. But here where we've changed it to G, because that is the 9 and maybe the flat 9. Oh, sorry. Oh no, that's the 4. That's the natural 4. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. So what could we change this over to? Da, da. We could just go down to the root. I think that would work. We could try the B flat. Let's have a listen to that. No, because then you don't get the motion from the B flat to the B flat, and we want. I think G would work really well. Yeah, and then it's ready to hit the 1 chord again at the beginning. So if you change over any of the chords, you're going to have to change over the melody notes as well, be that in the alto or the trombone, and make sure you change over if you're going to change over the piano, change over the bass as well. Don't have a kind of mix match, say it's a C7 here and a G7 here, or else that's going to be a kind of a bit of confusion between the instruments, and we don't want that. We want nice, easy, clear parts. So those are probably the two most common changes. We have the quick change here and the turnaround here. So what else can we do? There's loads of different things you can do to a 12-bar blues. Let's go over some of the fancy ones. I probably won't do this with the melody, but you could add in the sharp 4 diminished here. So it goes 4, 4, 1, 1. Instead of that, it goes 4, sharp 4 diminished C, 1, 1. So that would be F sharp diminished. Which, well, let's have a listen to how that sounds. So that'll be, that go up a bit. That will go up. That should do. Let's just have a listen. In fact, if I take out the, I'm just going to load up the mixer quickly. Just going to mute the melody instruments just so we can hear that chord progression. In fact, I'll play it from here. That's a really nice smooth transition from that F to that F diminished, F diminished. You could make it an F diminished 7. Oh, I have actually got the, haven't changed over this bit, so that's going to be a problem. I'll keep that as an F diminished for now. Oh, why is that? Ah, because chunky. Yeah, so that adds in a nice bit of interest into this chord. I'm not actually going to do that. I preferred it how it was. But that is definitely one way you can vary the harmonic rhythm, or not the harmonic rhythm, the harmony. I could actually vary the harmonic rhythm. So harmonic rhythm is how often, don't do that, how often the chord changes. So the harmonic rhythm in this piece is consistent. It goes 1, it's a semi-breathe every time you get the chord. So chord, 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 chord. Well, technically it changes here because you get the held notes, but it's very consistent, kind of plodding along, 1 per chord, 1 per bar. Let's change the harmonic rhythm to add in a bit of change within a bar. So a common addition into any jazz piece is a 2-5. That is a 2-5-1 progression. So here we have the 5, which we could change ever so slightly by adding in a 2-5-1. So we'll move the 5 chord to here, and we want 2 of this will be D minor 7. So we get a 2-5-1 progression leading us back to the top instead. So let's just write out something for that. And we want a no. So we'll have the 1 and the 3 of the D minor chord. Oh, I need to write it out in the bass as well. There we go. So that adds in a quick 2-5-1 progression. So this is the 2 of the C of a C major. This is the 5. So it's a 2-5-1, and I've kind of shown that in the bass. Might actually. Yeah, that would be better. And then it's just going to lead back into our C at the beginning, so that kind of keeps it looping. And you can add in 2 5s all over the place. I'm actually just going to go back to the one I had because I want to add in a tiny bit of interest. I'll keep the quick change and I'll keep the turnaround, but I won't have the 2 5 turnaround. I want to hit that G and emphasize it. Oh, why didn't that copy across? No, let's get the chord symbols, that's right. Yeah, so that's back to how it was. Let's add in a 2 5 somewhere else just to show how we would do it. So say we wanted to approach this F. You would approach it from its 2 5. So a 5 above F is C, and we already have that, so we could put that there. But we want the 2 of F, which would be F G. It would be G minor. Yeah, G minor, so we need a B flat there. Oh, and that would work well with the D. Change it over here, G minor, C7. So now we're approaching this F from a 2-5-1 progression beforehand. So let's have a listen to that leading into it. It sounds a bit weird where you've got the actually, hang on. No, it should sound okay, but I think it's going to be a bit weird with the C7 because we're already used to it being dominant. But a lot of jazz pianists do put it here. It's just, I think the walking bass is letting it down slightly. I'll make sure I hit the root note, so G. Yeah, sounds better with the root in the bass. So let's just have a listen to that. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't like it there because it sounds like we're approaching this C with another quick change, and G minor to C, that's not going to sound particularly interesting. So we'll add in a, I think it's, this will be the same as how it was. Go back to the original pattern. But there are many ways you can change up the harmonic pattern of the piece. If you would like some fancy ones other than the sharp 4 diminished, I love that sound. I won't keep it in this piece because I might have to rewrite parts of it. We will, I'd recommend looking at something called Bird Blues, which has lots of cycling chromatics and all that fancy jazz, late jazz stuff. But for now, I think that adds in a tiny bit of rhythmic interest in terms of changing up the form of the 12-bar blues from being the very basic formula to adding in a bit of change. Oh, hang on, I didn't want this chord here. I did want a simple turnaround. I wanted a G7 chord. That will do. To bring us back to the top, but I didn't want the 2-5. So that is just a quick overview on how you can change up the harmonic rhythm quite easily and change up that basic form of the structure. So just to overview, the quick change by going 1-4-1 instead of 1-1-1-1, you could add in a sharp 4 diminished 1 in the second part. You could end with a 5 on the final chord, or a 2-5, or if you really want to be fancy, you could go 1-6-2-5. So have like that would be C7 here, A minor, D minor, G7, just as ways to alter the pattern. There's the bird blues, there's adding in 2/5s all over the place. There's many different things you can do to this piece, and it still will have that kind of 12 bars feel. But if you do change anything, make sure you change the melody notes as well, just to make sure they fit. And a good rule of thumb is, does it sound good? Is honestly, and if you're hitting notes that are actually within the triad, it's going to sound good. So we'll leave that there, just something to think about of ways you can vary it, and I'll see you in the next episode, or next video.